Chelsea muster up another draw. Let me just... I probably should have done this before I started recording, but let me just quickly get up our last few matches. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so our last 3 games have been draws. 3 draws in a row. 2 of those were 0-0. Liverpool Chelsea 0-0. Chelsea Fulham 0-0. West Ham Chelsea 1-1. It's just that we last won a Premier League game on the 15th of... It's been nearly a month since we won a Premier League game. It's just not good enough. Now, obviously, there has been a lot of time between those games because of FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever. We're not in those anymore, so it's just useless time now for us. Yeah, it is just depressing. The last time that we won a game was on the 15th of January. We have won, I believe. Let me see. Well, very quickly. We have won. I saw a tweet about it a second ago. We'll do this one. 8 matches on the bounce without a win for Chelsea, which is not good enough. Put simply. First half, we were good. João Felix, debut Chelsea goal. Unfortunately, not at the bridge, but that's whatever. Enzo and Felix link up, beautiful. Mudryk, I thought, did not get enough of the ball to do anything. I mean, it was sort of Cucurella and Mudryk on that left side. Cucurella, I don't think he knows what the word forward means, to be honest. Which is probably why he plays as a defender, because he doesn't know that forward exists. I don't want to be too harsh on him because apparently he's got like real life shit that he's dealing with, but dealing with real life shit does not make you void from criticism, obviously. I mean, I think we can all agree Cucurella in this game was just not good enough. He was good at times, but it's just not consistent enough for me. I think Badiashile was good, Thiago Silva's good, Reece James had a couple bad moments, but overall good. The thing is, with Reece James and Cucurella, with Reece James, there was a couple bad moments, but mostly good. With Cucurella, there was a couple good moments, but mostly bad. That's the issue. But Cucurella, whenever he got the ball, he just passed it back to whoever passed it to him. There was little to no progressive forward passes from him. There was like 1 or 2. It was just... And you could hear on my watch along on Twitch. I was like, "Oh, Cucurella's got the ball. Oh, he's passed it back again." And then Cucurella comes off. So now So for example, on corners, Cucurella was outside the box just in case obviously West Ham clear whatever. Cucurella would then pass it back to Kepa. But then whenever then Cucurella went off, so now Reece James is that player that stays back on corners to make sure West Ham have a minimal chance of counter-attack. And Reece James passes forward when the ball comes to him rather than back to Kepa. Yeah, I don't think that Cucurella is really... It's not a good season for him. I think he actually got player of the season last season at Brighton. And now he's just not been that good. Yeah, Enzo was fantastic. I had 1 or 2 bad moments. The thing that I don't like was Souček. And if you watch the game, you know what I mean. And talking about West Ham players, actually, Emerson, fucking amazing. Scored a goal and was fantastic defensively. So I feel like Chelsea really binned off a good player in Emerson. But just Suchek suddenly became Fabianski for a minute. My man literally went down, saved Gallagher's shot with his hand, and it wasn't given as a handball. I don't understand it. You can say you can say it's in a natural position. It's in a natural position for a goalkeeper. Suchek is not a goalkeeper. Suchek replaced Fabianski on the pitch for like 20 seconds in that little play. He literally fucking puts his body down to save it, saves it with his hand, which makes the shot go wide. It was a shot on target from Gallagher. Suchek saves it with his hand, which there's a shot on target. Suchek saves it with his hand, which caused it to go wide, and it wasn't given as a handball. VAR checked it, wasn't given as a handball. And, I mean, they spent about 2 or 3 minutes checking if Rice was offside when he blatantly was. And then they gave it as offside after 2 or 3 minutes of like being like, oh, is that foot that's about a yard offside actually offside? Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's not though. And then for the Suchek handball, it took about 20 seconds. They're like, yeah, I mean, he has handballed it, and he is playing like a goalkeeper there. He has gone down to handball it, and he has handballed it, and it's gone wide because of the handball. But it's not a penalty, is it? Just absolutely ridiculous. Mudryk, I thought... Mudryk, I thought, was... He didn't get the ball enough, I don't think. He did not get the ball enough, in my opinion, Mudryk. Madueke, I don't know how good his stamina is, but he did have to come off after like 70 minutes because he did seem to be getting tired. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I'll be 100% honest with you. I have never watched PSV. I've never watched PSV. So, after what is said and done, a bit of a poor game from Chelsea. I think we can all agree on that. On the topic of Potter, I don't know. I do not know. I always said that. I mean, I said throughout this entire season, I am sort of Potter in because I want to see how he does next season with the players that he wants. Todd Boehly owns the LA Dodgers, and he's had the same manager there for like nearly a decade now. Chelsea were very much nearly a new manager every season under Abramovich, and now that we've got a new owner, we're doing a new kind of style. But I do fear for this season. I do. I really worry for this season. And I just saw a tweet from Pies on Twitter. Peter Walton, who defends referees majestically, like the Tottenham game when both goals should have been ruled out. The I can't remember who scored it, but the goal where Richarlison was offside and Richarlison was blocking Mendy's view, says interfering with players, an offside player. Peter Walton said that goal was fine, and he also said that the Kane goal, or the Kane headed goal from the corner, was fine, even though that should have been a free kick, not a corner, because of the Kukurea hair pull. He said that was fine, but now he's saying that should have been the Suchek handball should have been given as a penalty. If Peter Walton is saying it, you know that it should have been given. But it wasn't. Yeah, and on the topic of bad decisions, we can now confirm that pulling a player's hair is fine. And as an outfield player, going to save the ball with your hand as if you're a goalkeeper is perfectly fine as well. It's just ridiculous. I think you can't blame Potter for the penalty not being. Maybe he could have spoken up about it a bit more, but you can't blame Potter for the referees and VAR being absolutely dog shit. That's not Potter's fault. That's just the referees being dog shit. That is just the standard of officiating that we've got in the league right now. That is that. I mean, Thomas Tuchel would have very much. I probably would have tried to fucking punch VAR, honestly, if it wasn't given. Potter says it looked like it handball. You need things to go your way. At the moment, they're not, and that's just life. I don't think it's just good enough on Potter as well. But you can't blame Potter for the referees being shit. Maybe you can say that Potter should have been more vocal about it, but that's all that he can do. And he can only be so vocal before he gets a fine anyway. That is that. Hopefully next game we can get a win. Let's see our next fixtures actually. Chelsea. Our next fixtures are. So we got Southampton. That should be an easy. That should be 3 points. Tottenham. That should be 1 point at the minimum. Leeds. That should be 3. Leicester. That should be 3. Everton 3. Villa 1 maybe because they have got Emery now and they are doing pretty well under Emery. Wolves should be 1 hopefully because they are doing pretty well. Actually, I'm just saying that based off the fucking Liverpool score. I'm going to end the video here because this has rambled on. But basically, our next game should be 3 points or at least 1 of the minimum against Tottenham or whatever. But it should be 3 of them. It should be 3 against Southampton for certain. If it's a draw against Southampton, there's serious concern about our season. About if Potter's the right man. I mean, put Potter and Garden in leave for the next 5 months. Get Mourinho in just to make sure that we get top 4. Then get Potter in. I mean, that might be a bit. It might be a bit harsh to Potter, but I think it would work. I think that is that. See you on the next one. I am working on the FFP video about how Chelsea have spent all this money and FFP haven't got involved. I am working on that. That is that for this video. I've rambled on for 12 minutes. I'm going to now shut my mouth. See you on the next one. Peace out.